Hey, if you're thinking about jumping into CNC routing but you're not sure whether the SainSmart Genmitsu 4040 Pro Max is going to be the right fit for your garage or workshop, I get it. There's a lot of noise out there about these machines, and it's easy to end up with something that looks great on paper but turns into a wiring nightmare or just can't handle a full day of cutting without falling apart. I've looked at the specs, read through what buyers are actually saying, and thought about where this thing fits in real life. If you want to check the product details on Amazon, the link is in the description. So, who's this thing really for? If you're a hobbyist who wants to cut small to medium wood, plastic, or soft metals without spending weeks troubleshooting, this machine might be exactly what you need. It's marketed as a plug-and-play setup, and honestly, that's the biggest selling point here. Most CNC routers in this price range require you to wire up a VFD, mount the spindle, and pray your stepper drivers aren't going to overheat. This one comes with the control box already integrated, so you're not staring at a mess of loose wires or trying to decipher a manual written by someone who assumes you've built CNCs before. That alone saves you hours of setup time, and if you're not an electrical engineer, that's worth a lot. The water-cooled spindle is another practical win. A lot of budget machines overheat after 20 or 30 minutes of continuous use, forcing you to stop and let everything cool down. The 1.5 kW water-cooled spindle here is designed to run longer without throttling, which matters if you're cutting something like a full sheet of plywood or running multiple passes on a project. I've seen buyers mention that it stays noticeably quieter than air-cooled alternatives, too. If you're working in a shared space or just don't want to deal with the constant whine of a small fan screaming at you, that's a real quality of life upgrade. Now, let's talk about the Spoilboard. It's reinforced and has an integrated T-track, which is great for securing your material without having to jury-rig clamps every time. That might sound minor, but if you've ever wrestled with a piece of wood shifting mid-cut because your clamps weren't tight enough, you know how frustrating that can be. The T-track makes it easier to align your stock and keep it locked in place, especially if you're doing repeat cuts. That said, if you're planning to cut thick aluminum or hard metals regularly, you might want to upgrade the Spoilboard or add a sacrificial layer because aluminum chips can chew through soft wood pretty quickly. The linear rails are another highlight. They're a step up from the round rails you see on some budget machines, and they make a difference in precision and longevity. If you're cutting intricate designs or doing fine detail work, the rails help keep the gantry stable, which reduces chatter and improves finish quality. Buyers who've used this machine for small sign making or PCB milling have noted that the cuts come out cleaner compared to machines with cheaper linear guides. That stability also means less wear over time, so if you're planning to use this thing regularly, it's a solid investment. But let's be real, this isn't a machine for everyone. If you're looking to cut steel or hard metals on a daily basis, you're going to hit the limits of the 710W trimmer pretty fast. The spindle is powerful for its class, but it's not a heavy-duty industrial tool. You'll need to manage your feeds and speeds carefully, and even then, you might find yourself wishing you'd gone with a higher wattage option. Also, while the plug-and-play setup is a huge plus, it's not entirely foolproof. Some buyers have mentioned that the wiring inside the control box isn't the neatest, and if you're not comfortable troubleshooting basic electronics, you might run into issues down the line. Another thing to consider is the size. The 4040 workspace is decent for small to medium projects, but if you're planning to cut full-size sheet goods, you'll need to break your project into sections or invest in a larger machine. The integrated T-track helps with alignment, but it doesn't magically expand the cutting area. If you're working with large panels often, this might not be the best long-term solution. So, who should buy this? If you're a hobbyist, a small workshop owner, or someone who wants a reliable machine for wood, plastic, or occasional soft metal work without the hassle of assembly, this is a strong contender. The plug-and-play control box, water-cooled spindle, and linear rails make it a practical choice for anyone who doesn't want to spend weeks setting up or troubleshooting. The reinforced Spoilboard and T-track are nice touches that save time and frustration in real-world use. Who should skip it? If you're cutting thick,